Hello, dear friends. If someone sensitive were to hear the deep cry of a poor mother cow when her daughter is taken away to be killed, and the heart-rending sob of her daughter, he would cry too, and would never eat beef again in life. Warm-blooded higher mammals have sensitive souls, and they feel the same emotions as we do. For that reason, the cow is sacred in Mother India. Opinion piece. Galactic Code. Universal Law. Cosmic Ethics. Law of Balance. Stellar Regulation. New Value System. Law of Intervention. The ground is prepared. Let's start. Planet Earth is the last world in this universe under the occupation of dark forces, the last vestige of the cosmic wars that tore the galaxy apart for millions of years. As the galaxy was liberated from the clutches of dark forces, the forces of light evolved from a military force created by the urgent need to defend the fundamental freedoms of sentient beings into a harmonious cosmic society. As sentient beings evolved spiritually and aligned and united with the ascended masters, they discovered an inner code that regulates all interrelationships between beings of light and their relationships with dark forces and occupied planets. This regulation is called the Galactic Code and represents the legal basis for all the Confederation's actions in this and other galaxies. Definition. The Galactic Code is a universal norm of ethical agreement governed by advanced beings of light to regulate the behavior and rights of all sentient beings in the universe. It is a set of internal rules for souls of light that constitute the legal basis for all the actions of the Galactic Confederation. According to Cobra, one of its principles is that advanced civilizations have the right to intervene if there is extreme suffering on a planet. This is somewhat similar to the Prime Directive in Star Trek, which forbidden advanced civilizations from interfering with the natural development of less advanced ones. This directive is highly controversial as it can induce passivity in the name of free will or excessive intervention under the guise of protection. The regulation includes universal rights such as the right to a positive life experience, protection from negative actions by other beings, the balancing of consequences, and the right to Confederation intervention when principles are violated, regardless of local laws. Its goal is to create a harmonious and just galactic society, using peaceful means of intervention or even military means if necessary, to protect sentient beings and liberate planets occupied by dark forces. Perhaps some feel that the Confederation has no right to intervene and that humanity has the right to solve its problems on its own. This is simply not true. Many wars around the planet and the constant abuse of basic human rights have demonstrated that humanity cannot control its own situation. The Confederation will help replace the dark forces that humanity has long invited. Thus, the Galactic Code will finally become the universal ethical code, and darkness will cease to exist on Earth. Laws. Law of divine grace. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to a positive life experience. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to physical and spiritual abundance. Every sentient being has an inalienable and unconditional right to ascension. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to merge with other beings in proportion to their position in the mandala of the soul family. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to all information, not part of it. Every sentient being has an inalienable and unconditional right to freedom. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to be divided and protected from the negative actions of other sentient beings. Law of balance. Every sentient being that has chosen to live and act contrary to the principles of the Galactic Code and refuses or is unable to accept them and balance the consequences of past actions will be taken to the great central sun, restructured in its basic elemental sense, and will begin another evolutionary cycle anew. This is what is called the second death. Law of intervention. The Galactic Confederation has the inalienable and unconditional right to intervene in all situations where the Galactic Code is violated, regardless of local laws. Every sentient being has the inalienable and unconditional right to resort to Galactic Confederation in case of need, and it has the right to assist regardless of local laws. The Galactic Confederation has the inalienable and conditional right to enforce the Galactic Code and to conquer areas that violate it with military force if necessary. Reset news. According to RFK, society is divided into two irreconcilable halves. On one side, there is a ruling class that censors free speech, manipulates data, and clings to power through deception and fear. On the other side, there is a betrayed population, no longer willing to accept polite lies or manufactured consent. What was once left versus right has become elite versus citizen, predator versus parent, and the dark side versus humanity. According to Charlie Ward, there is a reason the media is silent, a reason the headlines don't reflect the reality, because the storm is already underway. August 2025 marks the final stage. 4,000 troops are deployed across 19 states as martial law is imposed. Secret arrests begin, and cities are taken over by the dark side. This isn't speculation. It's the endgame. Everything happens for a reason. Stay alert. You thought you could hide the truth, but now the world will see it all. New value system. As the fiat order collapses, blockchain, AI, and asset-backed digital currencies are already laying the groundwork for transparency. Gold-backed tokens, XRP-like instruments, and rainbow coins will replace fractional banking. AI is exposing fraud in real time, making old Wall Street tricks impossible. For the first time in centuries, value is returning to the people. Zambia's finance minister suspended the 50% export tax on precious metals and stones. This caused chaos in the global gemstone market. Zambia has applied tourmalines, amethyst, and emeralds to the elite for many years. Today, they are cornered by billionaires and multinational corporations, driving prices to record highs. Economy. George Soros in panic as campaign launched to criminally prosecute him. The US economy expanded 3.3% in the second quarter, with even stronger growth than previous thought. Opacity. Governments, corporations, and NGOs hide data in plain sight. They use fragmentation, schema drift, and opacity to make reconstruction the truth nearly impossible. Gregory Mannarino describes a new economic system where debt rate manipulation, currency revaluation, and government corporate measures create a structure designed to replace the previous system, He wants that the groundwork has been laid and that we are experiencing an economic crisis where the currency is devaluated, rates remain artificially low, and debt is expanding massively. Messages. Why do people have to hate each other so much? Asks Mary Long. Hatred is taught, not something we are born with. I love to think of nature as a limited broadcasting station through which God speaks to us every hour, if we will only tune it. Josh Washington Carver. Everything is dissolving. Just as the earth is shedding, cleansing, and purifying itself, so are we. But this is happening simultaneously on a galactic and universal level, according to Judith Castle. According to Saint Germain, you are not human in essence. You are consciousness itself, eternal and luminous, exploring a human game among many other games, in countless realities unfolding simultaneously. According to Mother Sophia, when you become still, you allow everything to calm down. The fears, desires, anxieties, needs, noise, and chaos around you. You step back from them and allow your soul to find that place of peace where it can regain its balance in absolute stillness. The earth groans with the clash of energies. There are wars and rumors of more wars. There are plans for destruction. Always remember who you are. You will be protected from the plans of destruction. In an instant, the wicked will be gone. Find peace with this truth, says the family of Taijeta. Our upsurge of Clism. According to Dr. Xavi, a cosmic orchestra is on the way. However, its concert decibels are louder now during the change of era. Our planet is shedding dense dirt, negative energy, and cellular debris. It is making room for a greater light. How to change timelines according to James McConnell. You must do things differently. You must change your course. And if you change course often enough, you are overcoming the timeline you are currently on. There are many who do the same thing the same way, every day of their lives, and consider themselves stuck. What they don't realize is that to move beyond their current timeline, they have to move beyond their habits. Science. NASA creates an affordable printable metal that resists heat. Artemis II will send 4 astronauts on a mission around the moon. The new artificial intelligence engine Enoch surprises viewers with what it can do. The only spacecraft to have penetrated the solar atmosphere confirms the magnetic energy that drives solar flares. A flat earther travels to Antarctica to prove the Earth is flat, only to discover it isn't. Governments around the world are developing a robotic womb for premature babies. A swimming robot fish powered by seawater can dive to 12,000 meters underwater. A team of researchers from Harbin Engineering University in China has created a soft, fish-like robot that can swim with the power of seawater. This allows the robot to withstand the high pressure of deepest part of the ocean. Having past life memories is linked to a higher rate of mental health problems, according to a new research from Brazil. Nearly half of Brazilian adults who report past life memories screened for symptoms of depression, anxiety, or post-traumatic stress disorder at higher rates than many high-stress groups. Although unusual desires and phobias predicted worse mental health, spirituality and positive religious coping often improved outcomes, suggesting that faith may buffer distress. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.